Well, the big dance gets underway tonight with a couple of play-in games, which they're not actually called play-in games. They're actually called first-round games because the games you have on Thursday that used to be called first-round games, they're now really called second-round games. Makes perfect sense to me, doesn't it? Anyway, there are two games tonight. There are two games tomorrow because it's now the field of 68, not the field of 64. And that means we've got more betting action. But in reality, look at all the college games tonight. You've got the NIT. You've got the College Basketball Insider Tournament. You've got the College Insider Tournament. Or was it the College Basketball Invitational on the College Insider? Who knows? You've got college basketball teams. If you're willing to pay for a game, damn it, you can find a game to host with some of these minor league, rookie league tournaments. But plenty of college basketball tonight. And everybody's busy out there filling out your brackets, and I certainly understand why. Listen, I've gotten the majority of the handicappers here at the site to post their brackets. You can click on the ad on the homepage. You can review them. You can print out the PDFs if you like to see who we like. I think that as handicappers, we have an inherent advantage over the general public when it comes to filling out brackets because, let's face it, over the course of the entire season, there are very, very few teams that the majority of us out there, at least here on this site, are not particularly aware of. I mean, how many times have I told you often you find value on the smaller scale schools? Well, guys, these are the teams often that make or break your bracket. Picking these smaller schools, whether or not they've got a chance at the upset, and also looking at the mid-level schools. You've got to be aware of the Missouri Valley Conference, the Sun Belt Conference, the West Coast Conference, the WAC. You've got to be aware of the teams coming out of those conferences to see whether or not they can have an impact. Plus, at the same time, I think a lot of times, so many guys out there that do brackets, you're regional basketball fans. If you're in the state of Indiana, the Big Ten is all that matters to you. If you're on the West Coast, well, I feel sorry for you, but you're following basically the Pac-12 and the Mountain West Conference. If you're living in Lexington, well, there's only one team that matters there, right? Oh, and occasionally you look at the SEC as well. But I think as handicappers, you get a broader view of everything that's going on. Listen, I'm not going to bore you talking about tournament stuff. I used to do a ton of interviews this week till I stopped doing media a couple years ago because, to be quite honest with you, I was just sick and tired of doing media. My goodness, during this week, I used to do 35, 45 interviews a week. And it wasn't talking about gambling. It was talking about giving out bracket advice. Listen, just a few of the things. Let me just quickly tell you. To me, I think the key number, you've got to emerge with 23 to 25 teams still alive out of the first round. So I know everybody always focuses on, hey, let's look for that upset. Let's look for that 5-12 mismatch. Let's look for that 13 or 14 seed that's going to pull the upset and stunning win. Hey, listen, guys, just focus on the gimmies. If you hit enough of the gimmies, you need 23 to 25 teams to get through the first round in order to have a great chance to get going in this tournament. That's the key. And listen, if you can get 5 to 6 teams in the Elite Eight, God bless you. You've got a great chance to win your bracket. And I think the biggest thing that guys forget, and maybe it's because they're not aware, because they don't follow so many teams during the course of the season, is that when you're filling out your bracket, forget about neutral sites. Neutral site is another name for a road game. Unless you're Louisville and you're playing in Lexington, okay? I mean, neutral site, road game. Minnesota, sucked on the road. Missouri, couldn't win for their life on the road. Do you think either one of these teams are going to make deep runs? No way. Teams that struggled on the road will continue to struggle at neutral sites in the postseason. Also, just like I always talk about the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, generally you are going to find, I've always found at least, the teams that win the Super Bowl, the teams that start fast, a little bit of slump in the middle of the season, and finish on the upswing. Or they're teams that are kind of like this all the way during the season. Doesn't that look good when I do that across the screen? And then suddenly they skyrocket at the end, and they ride that momentum to the championship. Often you'll find teams doing the exact same thing. And it reminded me watching the ESPN special a couple of nights ago about Jimmy Valvano with NC State, how they reeled off back in 1983 the 9 straight wins to win the ACC crown and then go capture the tournament title with the huge upset of Houston. You got to look for teams that have big momentum. Could Mississippi, a team that, especially the final month of the regular season, is about the best you can say about them. But man, they played like gangbusters in the SEC tournament. Personally, if you look at my bracket, I have them going to the Sweet 16 before losing to Ohio State. There's another team, Ohio State. Everybody beat each other up in the Big Ten, but there you've got Ohio State. Caught fire at the end, claimed the Big Ten crown. So those are some of the teams that you want to look at. St. Louis. My God, from a betting perspective, the Billikens have been great. Could the Billikens be this year's VCU? Well, guys, I have them advancing until they eventually lose to Louisville, too. So, I think that you have to look at certain teams that have momentum on their sides. Again, teams that don't play well on the road, you've got to continue going against them. And instead of looking for the stunning upsets, look for the obvious wins, okay? Just a couple of betting tips. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, and this, of course, is going to be your Tuesday video report. Guys, it's like a broken record, but geez, did Brian Rosica lose it all last week? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, won every damn day, and he's back tonight with another big play. Rosica joined the site back on February 5th, and in that stretch, $10 bettors are up over $12,000. In fact, $12,830. And today, winner number 20 out of 24 over the past 5 weeks alone. 75-dime winner number 8 out of 10. Just as strong as a 75-dime winner you may recall was St. Louis over NC Charlotte last Friday afternoon. It's coming off a monster weekend. He had that 80-dime winner number 3 in a row with Ole Miss outright over Florida on Sunday. Hit his 100-dimer number 5 in a row with St. Louis getting the job done against Butler on Saturday. Again, winner number 20 out of 24, 75-dime winner number 8 out of 10. FYI, just in case, this video goes out over like 16 or 18 sites, I lose track of the number. If you happen to be seeing me on a site that Brian Rosica is not at, just send an email to customer service. They'll point you in the right direction. It's that easy. Now, in terms of the half-price play of the day release, I'm going to go right back to the well with Jeff Benton. He is going for winning day number 6 in a row. I gave you his half-price play of the day release on Friday. He delivered with Syracuse over Georgetown. Damn him, since I had the Hoyas. Then on Sunday, he did it again when he cashed in with Miami, Florida, getting the job done against North Carolina. Today, 40-dime winner number 9 out of 12, Niagara and Maryland. Again, winning day number 6 in a row, and you can get his play today for half price simply by using coupon code JEFF3950. JEFF3950. That will get you his play today for $39.50, half price today, guys. Jeff3950. Doesn't get any easier than that, huh? Craig Davis looking for winning day number 13 out of 16 with a 40-dime opening round lock on one of your playing games tonight, Middle Tennessee State and St. Mary's. Twice as big as last night's 20-dime winner on Boston, and just as big as his 40-dime play with Wisconsin and Ohio State under the total on Sunday. So those are among the hot handicappers. Let's talk about those that are not hot, and that would be me at the top of the list after that dreadful play last night on the Utah Jazz. I broke my own rule. I always say you don't put good money on bad teams, but last night I thought with the Knicks injury riddle, playing their 4th road game in 6 days, with the Jazz playing well at home this season, I thought it was a great time. I cursed myself because I cost us the win when I turned the TV channel on to ESPN last night. Right then, the Jazz had a 6-point lead in the 3rd quarter. At that very moment, the Knicks went on a 10-1 run, and J.R. Smith woke up. Next thing I know, the ESPN announcer is saying that the Jazz were shooting 4 for 19 in the 3rd quarter. Game, set, match. That one was over. So on the heels of the 15-dime winner with St. Louis on Sunday, I give it all back plus the juice last night with that dreadful 15-dime play. And it matches the highest rated play in my career, which is now... I can't even think of my record, guys. I'm sorry, but I think it's 42-25-1 or 43-25-1 since the start of the 2009 season. But it sucked either way. Let me get to your free pick tonight. I thought about going with Wyoming, but there's some. I did a lot of research on these games, and here's the thing. Wyoming is playing tonight against Lehigh, and I'm thinking, wow, this is a great spot to go with Wyoming at home. Lehigh last year was the Dance's darling. Last year, what did they do? Remember? It's just a phenomenal upset of as a number 15 seed. They stunned Duke last year, and they made their move in the big dance, and this year they're going to Laramie, Wyoming. Yeah. You're sitting there, it may be cold in Pennsylvania, but you're going, damn, I got to go to Laramie, Wyoming. But But here's the thing with Wyoming. I thought Wyoming was a good play tonight, minus the 5 points at home, because they're going to slow down the tempo of the game, and that's going to frustrate Lehigh. Problem is, most places I see that Leonard Washington, the best player that Wyoming has on its team right now, is, even though he's been battling ankle and back problems for a number of weeks, is probable. But on one side, I saw that he's expected to miss the game. I can't confirm it one way or another, so I had to take a pass on that one. Instead, I'm going to go with a free pick on Denver, minus the points at home against Ohio. Similar situation here. Ohio last year, Sweet 16 run. This year, they couldn't beat Akron, losing 3 times to them, including the MAC title game. So the reward is going to the NITs to play in Denver. Gee, that's a thrill. They've got the travel working against them on short notice. They have the high altitude of Denver working against them as well. Pioneers had reeled off, I think it was 17 straight wins until getting shocked. I'm sorry, no, they had won 10 in a row and 17 of 18 before getting shocked by Texas State in the quarterfinals of the WAC tournament after being sharing the WAC regular season crown. 8th in scoring defense in the country, allowing just a shade under 56 points a game. These teams are pretty evenly matched in terms of both of them suck rebounding. I mean, absolutely horrible rebounding. Ohio, 310th in the nation in terms of rebounding. Denver, even worse, 347. They only average 25 boards a game. But again, Ohio, last year, you made the Sweet 16 run. This year, you're playing in Denver in the NITs. You're playing on short notice. You're playing with travel working against you. I got to go with the Pioneers here tonight, and I think that fatigue by playing in the altitude will definitely wear down Ohio, and that's why Denver is going to be the free pick today. Good luck, guys, and I'll catch you again come, what is it going to be, Wednesday, as we have more playing games.